The official languages of the Republic of Cyprus are Greek and Turkish. In the breakaway Northern Cyprus, Turkish was made the only official language by the 1983 constitution. The everyday spoken language of the majority of the population is Cypriot Greek, and that of Turkish Cypriots is Cypriot Turkish. For official purposes, the standard languages are used. 3. Religious groups are recognized by the constitution to have their own language: Armenian and Cypriot Arabic, sometimes Kerbecha, the language of the Kerbe. The Cypriot Roma is included alongside the other two in literature, but it is not officially recognized in any capacity. The 2011 census of the Republic recorded 679,883 native speakers of Greek, 34,814 of English, 24,270 of Romanian, 20,984 of Russian, and 18,388 of Bulgarian, of a total of 840,407. Following the 1974 Turkish invasion, Cyprus was effectively divided into two linguistically near-homogeneous areas: the Turkish-speaking north and the Greek-speaking south. Only 1,405 speakers of Turkish reside in territory controlled by the Republic. The languages of Cyprus have historically exerted influence on one another. Cypriot Greek and Cypriot Turkish borrowed heavily from each other, and Cypriot Greek has helped shape Cypriot Arabic's phonology. Cypriot Greek. Greek was originally brought to Cyprus by Greek settlers in the 12th–11th century BCE, but contemporary Cypriot Greek, the mother tongue of Greek Cypriots, evolved from later Byzantine Con, under the influence of the languages of the many colonizers of the island. CG differs markedly from Standard Modern Greek, particularly in its phonology, morphology and vocabulary, and CG may be difficult for speakers of other varieties of Greek to understand, or may even be unintelligible to some. CG has a literary tradition that flourished before the Ottoman conquest of 1571. SMG has been the language of instruction in Greek Cypriot education since the late 19th century and is the language used in Greek language media in the country. Indeed, Greek Cypriots are diglossic, with SMG the high and CG the low variety, itself a dialect continuum that has been long undergoing leavening and colonization. SMG exerts a continuing influence on CG, and CG speakers code mix and code switch between the two varieties in formal settings. Greek Cypriot's tendency to downplay the differences between the two varieties has been thought to help preserve diglossia in circumstances that would have otherwise led to the demise of the low variety. Turkish Cypriots have traditionally been fluent in CG, meaning CG served as the vernacular lingua franca of the island. Cypriot Turkish. Cypriot Turkish is the language of Turkish Cypriots. Turkish was brought to Cyprus by the Ottoman conquerors in the late 16th century AD. Cypriot Turkish has been placed in the Central Anatolian group of Turkish dialects. Presently, a similar diglossic relationship to that of Cypriot and Standard Greek exists between Cypriot Turkish and Standard Turkish, and it too appears to be undergoing leavening and colonization under some influence by Standard Turkish. Unlike most non-standard forms of language, and unlike Cypriot Greek, Cypriot Turkish carries some prestige and is used alongside Standard Turkish in formal settings, but not in news broadcasting and newspapers or official documents. Standard Turkish is the language of instruction in Turkish Cypriot public schools. Minority languages. 2 minority languages are covered by the European Charter for Regional and Minority Languages in Cyprus: Armenian and Cypriot Arabic. Armenian. Armenians have inhabited Cyprus since the 6th century AD, but about 9,000 more arrived from Turkey in the early 20th century to escape the Armenian genocide. Of those, most moved on to other countries. Today, Western Armenian is taught in Armenian schools and is the first language of about 3,000 people of Armenian descent in the Republic. Armenian Cypriots are bilingual in Greek and Armenian. In 2014, it was reported that there are 668 Armenian first language speakers in Republic of Cyprus controlled areas. Cypriot Arabic. It is not entirely clear when Arabic first made its way to Cyprus, but Arabic speakers are known to have emigrated from the Levant in the late 12th century AD. Today, Cypriot Arabic is moribund with efforts being made to revitalize it. It is spoken by an estimated 900 Cypriot Maronites, all over the age of 30. Kormukita was a long-time stronghold of the language, but most Maronites relocated to the south and spread after 1974, fueling its now very likely death. CA speakers are bilingual in Greek and CA, having long existed cut off from other varieties of Arabic, has been heavily influenced by Cypriot Greek with respect to its syntax, vocabulary and particularly phonology. It has lost all emphatic consonants and stopped voicing opposition. CA has traits in common with some North Syrian and Mesopotamian dialects and sedentary vernaculars spoken on the Levantine coast. Cypriot Arabic has not so far been codified, though there are plans to do so. In 2014, it was reported that, in the 2011 census, of all 3,656 Maronite Cypriots in Republic of Cyprus controlled areas, none declared to be the first language. Kurbecha. There is an unknown number of Roma speakers of Kurbecha, a Creole with vocabulary that is predominantly Romani and Cypriot Turkish grammar, residing in Northern Cyprus. Kurbecha is not protected by the Charter and has been little studied. Foreign languages. Proficiency in English is high, and Cypriots that receive education in English might code switch between Cypriot Greek and English. English features on road signs, public notices, and in advertisements, etc. English was the sole official language during British colonial rule and lingua franca, and continued to be used in courts of law until 1989 and in legislature until 1996. A reported 80.4% of residents of Cyprus perceived to have command of the English language as L2, a 10.8% of French, a 4.6% of German, a 2.8% of Russian, and a 2.0% of Spanish. On average, Cypriots speak 1.2 foreign languages. According to the Eurobarometer, 76% of people of Cyprus can speak English, 12% can speak French and 5% can speak German. Foreign language lessons become compulsory at the age of 9. Extinct languages. The Cypro-Minoan syllabary in earlier languages. It is reckoned written language first made its appearance in Cyprus in the 16th century BCE with the yet-to-be-deciphered Cypro-Minoan syllabary, an offshoot of Linear A with some additional elements of hieroglyphic affiliation that was the basis for the later Cypriot syllabary. The Cypro-Minoan syllabary may have been used to write more than one language. Arcado-Cypriot and Transitional Greek. The ancient Arcado-Cypriot dialect of Greek was spoken by the Mycenaean Greeks to first settle in Cyprus in the 12th or 11th century BCE. It was eventually succeeded by Con Greek in the 4th century BCE and later Byzantine Con evolved into Cypriot Greek. Etio-Cypriot. Etio-Cypriot was a pre-Indo-European language indigenous to the island that competed with Greek following the latter's arrival and was ultimately supplanted by it by the 3rd century BCE. It was written in the Cypriot syllabary that was adopted for Arcado-Cypriot, the same same writing system was used to write both languages. For the time that the two languages coexisted, the peoples of Cyprus were bilingual.